Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Super Luigi Galaxy. Last time, we started our cosmic adventure as the Green Mustache Man himself, and we are now aboard the Comet Observatory with our brand new friends, Rosalina and Polari.
Look.
You should go to the Terrace first. Please, rescue the power stars in the galaxies you see there. So we have a new mission. Collect power stars in the many different domes here aboard the Comet Observatory to continue moving forward in hopes of finding our special one. This is one of the many domes on this observatory. We call it the Terrace. This is the only dome we have available so far, the Terrace. So without any further ado, let's go into our first dome. Welcome! This dome acts as an eye of the observatory. From here, we can gaze upon distant galaxies. Once this Luma transforms into a pole star, he will guide you to those faraway galaxies. Simply point your cursor at the pole star and press the A button. If you lose sight of the cursor, you can reset it with the R button. If you're playing in handheld mode, you can tap the pole star directly on the screen. So Polari here does bring up a pretty good point when it comes to controls. I'm playing this on the Nintendo Switch using the TV mode, meaning I have access to the point of control, whether it be using Joy-Cons or the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. This game also supports touchscreen control in handheld mode, and we'll be taking a look at that later on. But for now, let's go ahead, point at the said pole star, and grab it with the A button. These are the galaxies that could be observed from this dome. The number represents their distance from the observatory. The bigger the number, the greater the distance. The more power stars you find, the farther you'll be able to travel. Right now we only have one galaxy available, as this said galaxy requires one star. It's the only one we can unlock right now, so let's go ahead and do so. Yes, it's undeniable! We're detecting power star energy patterns in the nearest galaxy. But I must warn you that the evil energy readings are off the charts. Please be careful. We'll be as careful as we can, but for now, let's fly to our first galaxy here in the Terrace, Good Egg Galaxy. Here in Good Egg Galaxy, we have our first star we can go ahead and grab. Dino Piranha. Let's go ahead and select it. Selecting the said power star on the map, now we get to see an overview of the mission ahead of us. In this case, we got an egg sitting out on a distant planet. Without any further ado though, I welcome you to the first official galaxy here outside the tutorial galaxy. Welcome to Good Egg Galaxy. Right away, we're running into a new enemy type here, Octo Goombas. We can go ahead and stop these guys or just do a spin attack to kill them instantly. They can shoot rocks at you, so be very careful in terms of their set attacks so you don't get hit. But now let's go ahead and run around here, and going to the other side of the planet, we'll flip around on the said gravity lane. To pick up star bits scattered around the galaxies, touch them with your pointer. In handheld mode, you can also collect them by tapping directly on the screen. Collect 50 to get a 1-up, and it really wouldn't hurt to store some up. Now, point at the screen to collect as many star bits as you can. Will do. So, as Luma said, point at the screen, we'll collect ourselves star bits. Collect 50 of them, and we'll get ourselves a 1-up. There are many ways we can get star bits in a level. For example, question mark blocks sometimes can have star bits. Hit them multiple times, grab as many as you can. You can also run up to enemies, and we can kill them to get star bits as well. But depending on how you kill the said enemy, that is how you're going to get star bits. Spinning an enemy will get you the bits, but stomping their heads will get you a coin. But this Luma does bring up a good point when it comes to collecting star bits in handheld mode, and I think now is as good of a time as any to talk about the controls of Super Luigi Galaxy in handheld mode on the Nintendo Switch. So here is Super Luigi Galaxy running in handheld mode on the Nintendo Switch. Now all your controls for the most part are the same. You move around with the left stick you can press the Y button to do your spin attack, or you can shake the whole system and do a spin attack that way. But you don't have a cursor in this mode, as you see as I'm moving around the system. Instead, to collect star bits, you must point at the screen, and now you can see a cursor following my finger. And by doing this, now we can point at those said star bits and collect them that way. And I'm gonna be 100% honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the touchscreen controls here in handheld mode for Super Luigi Galaxy. I understand they have to compromise when it comes to the overall control scheme here, and this was the best way of getting the cursor control to work, but because you have to move around with one of your hands, the other one is gonna be used in this case to pull in the star bits. Normally, I run around with my left controller, which means my left hand will grip the system, and then my right hand, preferably the thumb, will be on the screen, just pointing around. And by doing this, I can't really jump anymore unless I claw grip the controller and hit the B or the A button to jump. Same when it comes to spinning, I have to move around the whole system while pointing, or claw grip to hit the Y button while still use the pointer control. So a lot of the times you're making a sacrifice of, do you want to use the cursor, or do you not want to use the cursor? That is the downside of the touch screen controls like this in Super Luigi Galaxy. They work, but they're not as comfortable as using the pointer control in TV mode or even tabletop mode. So with that said, let's go ahead and dock the Switch and go back to TV mode. So now we're back on TV mode. We got our cursor back on a Joy-Con, so now we can just move around freely here and get very fluid controls. So from here, let's go ahead and continue running around the said level, grab ourselves some more star bits, but let's go ahead also now and start making some progress. My friends are ahead! Hurry! Thank you for transforming into a little launch star for us, so let's go ahead, use that said star and go to the next planet. If you get hurt, grab a coin to patch yourself up. Pick up a coin to restore some life. Hopefully we won't need to be doing that, but in this section there's a lot of danger here with these said rocks, so maybe we'll be needing those said coins. As you can see here, these things are a little bit hard to destroy, but they do have a red mark. Hit the red mark with a spin attack, and they will burst open, give you a bunch of star bits in the process. But you can only hit the rocks on the red portion, as that's the weak crystal. Anywhere else on the rock, and that will not destroy it. So you gotta be very careful. We're right down to 1 health. Because another thing with Luigi here you gotta be careful of is that he has a lot of slippery traction on his said feet. So he doesn't stop on a dime. He will slide ever so slightly. To fix this, you can jump and then come to a dead halt, but that's not really the best solution. In fact, there are some cases where that just doesn't really work out depending on your set terrain. So it's a thing you have to be mindful of. Just pay attention to how much he slides around, as that can be a problem. Grab a Spraddle Vine and shake a Joy-Con to twirl up it. You can also twirl with the Y button. Interesting, so there's a vine here we can use, but I don't see it at the moment. Maybe that piranha plant's hiding it. For now though, we come down below to the planet, we got a mystery coin we can collect. By collecting that, we saw ourselves a path of star bits appear, and we can use those said star bits to just kind of get a path up and know where we're going, but more importantly, got ourselves some extra star bits, which is always a nice thing. Here, I'm gonna go ahead, jump around this section of the level, because over here we got ourselves a secret little path that we can take. So we'll be taking this direction to continue forward into the set level. We got ourselves some switches here that we need to go ahead and hit, and by turning all these green, we can open up a path forward. So be very careful here not to fall, because there's a black hole down below. We fall in that, we will instantly die. If you don't want to do that, that just sounds painful. Now we got ourselves a launch star. We can use that to fly to our next planet. Here we got ourselves something running around in the dirt. If we get close enough to it, we can spin it, revealing that it's a star bit bag enemy. Hit him again when he's exposed, and he will drop a bunch of star bits for us to collect, which is very, very handy. Over here, we got ourselves a 1-up just hidden down below the said platform. You need yourself an extra life. It's a good thing to grab. Watch out! After you spin once, you have to wait until your Luma comes back before you can spin again. This is very true. You can only spin once in the air. If you spin multiple times, as you see, Luigi won't be doing anything, and that's your cooldown time. Same when it comes to on the ground. You gotta wait until you see your Luma ready to go once again to do another spin attack. So you can't just spam these spins all day long, as that cooldown time prevents you from using this to combo enemies. So you gotta be very, very careful when it comes to your spin timing. Here, this launch star will take us directly to the planet we need to go to, which has this big ol' egg on it. We just cracked open the egg, and whatever's inside is upset. We can see now there's a tail behind the egg, so what happens if we smack it? Oh, he mad. He very mad. We just woke up Dino Piranha. We can go ahead now and fight this guy to get ourselves our first Power Star, Good Egg Galaxy. Hit him again with the tail, and he gets even more furious. So that's essentially our goal in this fight. Just hit Dino Piranha multiple times using his tail. Doing so will irritate the guy so much he'll be in a rampage. Attack him enough times, and Dino Piranha will be down for the count, completing our first mission here in Good Egg Galaxy. Got a star right in front of us, but before we grab it, it is best to explore the little planetoid here, grab ourselves some extra star bits. We do see these little glowing things on the ground, and I'm not exactly sure what these are for, but maybe we'll learn about that in a future mission. For now, let's go ahead and grab our star and complete our first mission here in Good Egg Galaxy. Got ourselves our first star of the galaxy, and by doing so, we fly back to the Comet Observatory. Get used to that because every time you collect a star, you'll be brought back to the main hub here in Super Luigi Galaxy, tallying up your high score for level in terms of star bits and coins. Go ahead, save our game, as I feel like we made a lot of progress so far. Those little candy-looking things are star bits. To Lumas, they are the tastiest, most delectable treats imaginable. Aim your Joy-Con on the screen and point your cursor at them to pick them up. If you're playing in handheld mode, you can also collect star bits by tapping them directly on the screen. Once you have some, shoot them by aiming with the cursor and pressing the ZR button. Why don't we try it out? Aim at me and feed me some star bits. So let's go ahead and grab all of these, and now we can feed these said star bits at our Luma friend by pressing the ZR button to shoot them. That's the ticket! Yum! Delicious! Oh, thank you, yes! Mmm, tasty. Let's call those little morsels my fee for the lesson. You can also shoot them at enemies or feed them to a hungry Luma. Either way, I'm sure star bits will be a big help on your adventure. So while we're here talking about shooting star bits, we didn't really mention how we do that on portable mode here on the touchscreen of the Nintendo Switch. So let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. So back here in the handheld mode in Super Luigi Galaxy, we already know if we point around with our finger, that's how we get the cursor on screen. But now how exactly do we shoot the said star bits? Well, the ZR button still works, but the problem is now the cursor is nowhere on the screen. So we can actually take the said cursor and tap on the screen to shoot a star bit as well. Now the problem with this is, as you can see here, with my finger covering the whole screen, I don't know where my cursor is. It's much harder to see on the handheld mode of this game because of human anatomy. Your finger's going to be covering up a good chunk of the screen unless you're using it maybe very loosely, and even then, like hovering over with like the tip of my finger, I still can't really see it all that well. So what you can do is you can aim around the cursor with one finger, for example, then you can use the ZR button to shoot, but I prefer to just tap on the screen to where I need to shoot, and by doing this, you can tap anywhere on the screen and shoot wherever you want. The problem, more or less, is in handheld mode, it's not as easy to aim at things and shoot them. And same goes when it comes to pole stars, as here we have to tap on it and do the same action. So using the touchscreen when it comes to the overall action of Super Luigi Galaxy, while very possible, there are a lot of problems with it, and it's not my ideal way of playing, so I would recommend playing Super Luigi Galaxy on the Nintendo Switch in TV mode or tabletop mode if preferred, as the cursor controls as we're seeing here, they work, but they're much harder to use, especially when you can't really see the cursor due to your hand kind of covering up a good chunk of the screen. But now that we've talked about how shooting star bits works in the handheld mode, let's go ahead, dot the Switch, and continue playing Super Luigi Galaxy on the TV. So back on TV mode, let's get back into Good Egg Galaxy and continue exploring our first galaxy here of the Terrace. So heading back into Good Egg Galaxy, we can see the first star here, Dino Piranha, is collected, and we can see our best score of coins being 5 in total. But we want to go ahead and continue moving forward with a star we haven't collected, which we can tell when it has the word new above it, but also when it's transparent. So let's go ahead and move on to our next level here in Good Egg Galaxy, a snack of cosmic proportions. We can see with this overhead shot, we got a star floating out in space, and we got ourselves a Hungry Luma. We heard about these guys right before jumping back in the Good Egg Galaxy, and now we get our first taste at a Hungry Luma mission. So we want to go ahead and grab as many star bits as we can, as that Hungry Luma is going to want a lot of star bits. So let's just kill enemies here, grab the bits from them. Any star bits that fall from the sky, we're going to want to be grabbing those as well. So here, hi Goomba, I'm just going to kick ya, don't mind me. Put some star bits around this area, jump down below here, spin on these rocks, get ourselves some star bits. Normally you see rocks in a circle like that. You can spin around the said area, and when you do so, you'll get a lot of star bits. So keep that in mind if you need a lot of star bits like I need in this case. Come here, Otto Goomba, just gonna spin you until I get your bits. Thank you very much. I got a hungry friend up ahead. You don't mind sharing your snacks, do you? Head forward using the Pulse Star and the Launch Star. If you're in handheld mode, you can just tap the Pulse Star and the Launch Star directly. I could tap things on the touchscreen, but I prefer to use the good old pointer control, thank you very much. Pull my way up with the Pulse Stars, and as we've seen there, they have momentum. So you don't have to just pull on the things indefinitely to move forward. You can use the momentum of the Pulse Star to kind of just launch Luigi up into the spacey sky, and using that said momentum, we can just kind of drift out into space until we get to our said target. Do keep in mind, you can't do that forever, as after a while, you will break out of that said Pulse Star bubble, and now you're gonna have to grab the Pulse Star again to continue moving forward. So keep in mind that said timer. But from here, we're gonna go ahead, use these launch stars, and fly around all different parts here of the said galaxy. And right here, we see ourselves our Hungry Luma friend. Hey, you! Yeah, you! Got any tasty star bits? If you feed me a bunch of star bits, I'll burst with snacky happiness and then transform. I'm famished. I need 100 star bits to curb the hunger pangs. You need 100 star bits. How convenient, we have 100 exact. Eat up, my friend. Fill him up with all the star bits. Fill him with star bits until he's ready to burst. That's it. I'm stuffed. Here we go. Transform! A new planet was born after feeding that Hungry Luma a bunch of star bits. Now we can take this special launch star and make our way to the said new planet. So this is how Hungry Lumas work. Feed them a bunch of star bits, and by doing so, they will transform into a new planet that you can explore. Now normally, Hungry Lumas are not part of the required mission path. Normally these things are part of optional stars in Super Luigi Galaxy. But since this is our first encounter of a Hungry Luma, this time around, you will need to feed the said Hungry Luma to complete the main objective. That way, you just get kind of a taste of how the Hungry Lumas work, which is very ironic to say because they definitely tasted something. A lot of sweet treats. Unfortunate, though, that all those sweet treats kind of make them explode into a planet. That doesn't sound the most ideal or safe. That is the way of the Hungry Lumas in Super Luigi Galaxy. Excuse me, sir. I want to go ahead and spin on you and get more star bits. Just in case we need more. You never know when you need more star bits. Although I'm going to stomp on this Goomba so I can get a coin. Give me back some of my health. Falling down into this hole, now we get ourselves a little bit of a 2D section. So controls here work a little bit differently in the fact that now we can move left or right only. Moving forward or back doesn't really get us anywhere as there's walls in both directions. So that is one thing to consider, but also in this area specifically, there is a lot of gravitational changes going back and forth between the floor and the ceiling. So that's another thing to get used to here. A lot of flipping around back and forth when it comes to the 2D sections of Super Luigi Galaxy. But now we made our way over to the star-shaped planet where our power star is located. Here we got ourselves 5 of these little blue chips, so we collect these, then something different and special is gonna happen. I'm gonna jump over here onto this side, grab myself this chip on the side of the star. Getting a little wonky in the controls, which sometimes that is the thing in Super Luigi Galaxy. When you hold one direction, you can go in a circle just because of the gravity. Takes some time to get used to that. Collecting these 5 little blue chips creates pole stars, so those are pole star chips specifically. We can use the pole star to drag away into the star here, or we can go ahead and also just do this, which ignores the pole stars entirely. Long jump. Long jump over to the star by holding down ZL and pressing the A or B button. You can long jump over a huge gap, and in this case, big enough gap to get to the power star. You don't even need those pole stars. In all honesty, those pole stars, very optional. And that's normally how I get that star in that said galaxy. Would you look at that? We discovered a new galaxy by collecting 3 power stars in total. Well done, brave explorer! You discovered a new galaxy! Collecting power stars will expand our range of vision, perhaps to eventually include the enemy base. Ooh, that sounds interesting. We're definitely going to want to expand enough so we can find that said enemy base here in the Terrace. But for now, let's continue forward and head back into Good Galaxy to collect our last star here in this said list of stars. So our third and final star to get for now here in Good Galaxy is King Caliente's Battle Fleet. Seeing our overview shot here, we got ourselves some battleships this time around, floating around up in space. Looks like this said King Caliente could be associated with our good old friend Bowser. And we need to find Bowser to find our special one, Princess Peach. So it's good to know that Bowser may be close by. For now, let's go ahead and make our way over to that said planetoid with the battleships. So we can take a warp pipe here, and as we can see, the green one took us to the other side of this planet. But there's an orange pipe here. Take this orange pipe, and now we enter a brand new area. This is a little bit of a secret area, and here we got ourselves a question mark coin. Collecting this will spawn some music notes. Collecting all the music notes will reward you with a 1-up and a nice little jingle there of the underground theme from Super Mario Brothers. Nice little remix, and we're hearing a lot of remixes like that throughout our time in Super Luigi Galaxy. If you get tired and want to return to the observatory, you can press the plus button and select Return to the Observatory. But you can't bring back any star bits you picked up, so be careful. This is true. Anytime you want to quit a level, you can pause the game with the plus button, and you can return straight back to the observatory and go do something else. But in this case, I'm going to hit the back button here, as we don't want to leave this level. We have a mission, and I'm going to see this mission through. So for now, let's jump at the launch star and continue forward. Is that a toad I see in this crystal? Must free. Whoa! You saved me! Thanks, Luigi. In return, let me tell you a secret about this place. Apparently, those spiky things just hate coconuts. Check a Joy-Con or press the Y button to smack them with coconuts. That's a very helpful, interesting tip. Don't mind if I do. So for now, there's a said spiky thing, but we need to find ourselves a coconut. Really, here's one. Although there's a box in the way, so get rid of the box. Now hit the coconut and see where it lands. A for effort. Didn't land where I wanted it. Maybe this one? No, Luigi's not great with coconut aim. 4th time's the charm. Where'd the coconut go? I must find a coconut. These things are a little bit hard to aim around, as we can see, but you don't have to hit it with the spin directly. You can just kick it, which will also put it in range where you need to go. And now we can see we got a little bit of a mini launch star here. And if we use the camera here to look up, we can see that star will launch us to the said planet. Or we can go ahead and use a triple jump here by just jumping 3 times in a row. And with enough height with the said triple jump, you don't even need this star. The gravitational pull from the planet will just suck Luigi in, and now here we are. You don't even need that mini launch star. You can just launch yourself up here by yourself. Here we got ourselves a Pokey, so let's poke him with a coconut, hit his head, and that will reveal a launch star. So let's use this to continue forward. Here, if we take the launch star here right away, we'll go to a different planet, but I don't want to do so. Instead, I want to run around on this tiny little rock of a planet and go down this warp pipe, because we got ourselves another mystery coin. Grab this, and I see ourselves our first power-up in the game. This is Rainbow Luigi. By collecting the Rainbow Star, we now become invincible. This doesn't last forever though, so we gotta book it. Using this invincibility, we can run faster than ever, run straight into enemies, and by doing so, we will kill them instantly. Not just that, but Rainbow Luigi can actually destroy certain enemies that he normally cannot. In this case, these chain chomp boulders, Luigi cannot do anything with on his own. But using the power of the Rainbow Star, we can destroy those chain chomps with ease just by running into them, which is really, really helpful. Be careful around this section because we got ourselves bullet bills just shooting out of these cannons. Be very careful because they will home in on you. So don't want to stand still for too long. By doing that, well, you're an easy target. So keep on moving. Those bullet bills do have a hard time homing in on you, however, so they are kind of easy to bait around into walls or floors. So do keep that in mind as well. Now we take this launch star up to the battleships here, and by doing so, we are greeted with 2 giant octopuses. Well, they're shooting coconuts at us, so we can just shoot the coconuts right back, and that will kill them instantly. By killing both of those guys, we reveal a bridge to continue moving forward. Nice work, but you gotta keep going. Will do, Green Toad. Let's continue forward here. Well, this box is interesting. I think something's in it, because it's glowing. Break it open, and indeed there is something inside, a mysterious looking mushroom. This mushroom here has our health grow to 6 points. If it drops below 4, however, it will return to normal. So this red mushroom is a health bump. Specifically, this thing is called a life mushroom. Collect one of these shrooms and we get ourselves more health for the remainder of the level, at least until we take up to 3 points of damage. Once we go back to 3 health, then we lose those extra 3 hits. Be careful! There's big danger up ahead. If things get really bad, shoot a starbit at one of those lights on the ground. Then a coin will pop out. Grab it to replenish some of your life. That's interesting to know. So any little of these potholes we see on the ground, we can shoot and they will give us a coin, which is always good if you're low on health. But running up here to the other side of the planet, we can see why we're here to begin with. This is our boss of the level, King Caliente. This guy is very fierce. He will shoot out these very fiery looking rocks. We don't want to get hit by those, but we do want to wait for him to shoot at a coconut, because the coconut we can hit back at King Caliente. In doing so, this is how we damage the guy. But every time we hit a coconut back at him, he will hit back at us. So in this case, we had to hit the coconut twice to actually hit King Caliente. In his third and final phase, he will also shoot out these fire rock creatures, so we have to be very careful about these things, not to run into them, because they will hurt. But hit the coconut at King Caliente 3 times here for his final hit, and doing so, we will defeat the guy, earning ourselves our Power Star of the level. So before we grab Power Star, let's collect ourselves some more Star Bits. And now with those collected, let's get out of here. With this star collected, that will conclude our time for now in Good Egg Galaxy. Maybe we'll have a reason to come back here in the future, but for now, there are only 3 stars located in Good Egg Galaxy that we can collect, and we got them all. So for now, that's a total of 4 stars in our collection. Ourselves some more Star Bits, always good to see, and let's go ahead and save our game. Now, heading back into the levels here at the Terrace, we can confirm that we got ourselves all 3 stars in Good Egg Galaxy, seeing that for now, the level is complete. Again, maybe we'll have a reason to come back here later, but for now, that's all we can do in Good Egg Galaxy. And we have more than enough stars to unlock this 3-star galaxy here in the distance. But we'll be unlocking that galaxy in the next episode. Next time on Super Luigi Galaxy, we'll continue exploring the Terrace and unlock a new galaxy for us to explore. I'll see you guys next time.